I'm telling you guys, I can't lose these college complimentary plays. Last night, giving you a winner on Belmont, much to the dismay of some of the handicappers here at the site, specifically Brian Rosica, who had that big 100-dime winner, number 9 out of 11 last night on the Tigers, but they went down. I cash in. 21 out of 30 college complimentary plays have cashed over the past 4 weeks. 21 out of 30. Damn, I wish I had bet those damn games. Anyway, I've got 2 more free selections in college basketball coming up tonight. Going to take a look at the game between California and SMU, and also the contest between Florida State and Louisiana Tech, because I know that you can't make it through your day without having the update on that one. Listen, I'm going to also give props out to Matt Rivers, who cashed in once more with his second highest rated play of the season. 400,000 star winner, number 10 out of 11 in the past 3 weeks, as he gave you the NIT total of the year selection last night on Clemson and Belmont to go over. And you got that winner as the $5 play of the day, in fact. So kudos to him. FYI, remember, Matt Rivers, the only handicapper to emerge unscathed through the first 3 rounds of the Big Dance, says he's a perfect 4-0. We'll have to see if he has anything going on for tomorrow. Make sure you check out on the video report at that time, as the Big Dance, of course, resumes on Thursday. Okay, listen, guys, I'm going to have to motor through this report here briefly because I've got a busy day on hand. I mean, phew. I just don't know how I'm going to find time to squeeze in all I've got to do today. I mean, a new episode of Arrows on tonight on the CW network. I've got a new episode of The Real World Explosion on MTV. The series finale of Psych on USA. I've got a number of House Hunter International shows on HGTV already on the DVR. I mean, I am a busy, busy person with this highbrow entertainment that I am just indulging in day after day. In all seriousness, no, I wanted to mention, do you guys watch the Outside the Lines program on the Ford Letter Network? I'm not a big fan of Bob Lee, okay, but I do like the show. They've had a couple of fascinating ones here on lately. Earlier this week, they had one about the former Cleveland State men's basketball coach, Kevin Mackey, who, of course, led Cleveland State to that incredible Big Dance run back, I guess it was late 80s, 87 maybe? I can't really remember back then. I remember writing about it, but and then watched his career and his life just kind of fade to black as he got arrested for crack cocaine possession, I believe it was. And then the rebuilding of his life and his career, bouncing around, minor league coaching jobs, eventually now, of course, a scout with the Indiana Pacers in the NBA. That was a really good one, but I thought the one I watched yesterday was really even better. University of North Carolina, a whistleblower there has done what a whistleblower does. They blow the whistle on something that shouldn't be happening, and that is allegedly student athletes being allegedly encouraged to take these make-believe classes, sham classes, paper classes. Why? Because that's how they maintain their eligibility to be student athletes. I just thought it was fascinating. I know last year, making the rounds, various colleges with my son, you go and you visit the campus. You guys have done this too, I'm sure, and women out there with your kids too, and you listen to the pitches and stuff. Of all the colleges visited, of all of them, without a doubt, the snootiest was the University of North Carolina. I mean, sitting in there, and one of the first sentences out of the person's mouth was, here at the University of North Carolina, we consider ourselves the Ivy League school among public universities in America. And I'm going, it's the University of North Carolina. This wasn't Princeton. I'm sorry, this isn't Harvard. It's the University of North Carolina. Great school, beautiful location, nice little downtown Chapel Hill, but it's North Carolina. So as I'm watching that show yesterday, I'm thinking about that. And I'm thinking, I guess it is like the Ivies of the public schools in America, as long as you're not a student athlete. Boom, boom. Anyway, thought it was interesting. You happen to catch it on your DVR. You might want to check that out in between watching all those other fabulous shows I already mentioned today. But listen, anybody who thinks this is just a problem with the University of North Carolina, you're crazy. You're crazy. I mean, there's all types of things like this going on. And then there's other type of things, at universities too, where you can take, ridiculous classes to keep your GPA up and make it easier on yourself. I went to Temple University. I'll never forget. I had a grueling semester. I had investigative reporting, public affairs journalism. I had a high level. I was a double major, a journalism major and a marketing and advertising major. And then I had a high level advertising class as well. And I needed one more class to fill out my schedule. And it was like, Christ, those 3 were going to kill me as it was. So I'm looking up and down the schedule things, and I found baseball. Investigative reporting, 4 credits. Baseball, 2 credits. I'm going to go get an easy A in baseball. Oh, Christ almighty, what a mistake that was. I mean, yeah, it was, it was nice to play ball, but I mean, Jesus. It was a spring semester class. North Philadelphia, semester starts end middle of January. First thing you have to do, run a mile and a half when it's like 22 degrees. Are you kidding me? And you're playing outdoors on this artificial turf, which is like hard as a rock because it's the middle of winter. There's snow piled up and plowed over to the side, and you're out there playing ball every day. And I'm going, and the final in baseball? Yeah, this will blow your mind. It was a 10-page final because it broke down. You had to put yourself in the position of player and a defensive coordinator. Balls hit the left field. What is every single player doing? Where's the pickoffs going? Where's the throws going? I mean, it was all about defensive and offensive strategy. It's a 10-page final. And I'm thinking, Christ, economics wasn't this bad. I got a 99 on the damn thing, but I'm going, boy, this is a lot of work. But there's classes like that at all universities. I mean, my God, I took one for bowling. Bowled a 200, got an A, got a 210. Boop, aced that one. But took a class one semester, recreation. Recreation. I swear to God this is true. I sit in the recreation class. It's piled in. A lot of athletes in this class. I wonder why. I go to recreation. The first assignment from the professor is go home, and before the next class, cut out pictures and magazines of people participating in recreational activities and put together a collage and bring it in. That's your first assignment. And I thought to myself, I got to get the hell out of here. I mean, the only recreation I had that day was the run I took to drop ad to get the hell out of that class because I thought I am not going to dumb myself down for that. But I mean, so classes like this, I'm sure they're at all universities still in one way, one form, one shape or another. Okay, let's get to your free selections, guys. I gave you a free pick on SMU a couple of days ago when they were at home against LSU. And it looked like a really easy game. I mean, because, you look at the final score and you see that SMU won the game 80-67. What the box score may not necessarily tell you, or what you may not be aware of, is that SMU was down by 10 points in the first half, 5 points at halftime, but then they came out after intermission and just shot the lights out, 64% in the second half of the game to pull away for the win and the cover. Same scenario in their first NIT game as they were hosting Cal Irvine. I mean, what's so good about Cal Irvine other than they have an Anteaters as the nickname, okay? I mean, other than that, I can't think much good about the basketball program. 66-54 was the final score there, or 68-54, but it was another game where they trailed by 8 in the first half. And that's the problem with SMU. Offensively, they've been so spotty all season long. And also, of course, you had to wonder about SMU's mindset after dropping its final 3 games of the season, which cost Larry Brown's team a chance to earn a big dance ticket. So they won the first 2 games. This is the, the NIT quarterfinals here tonight for them. And they're hosting California. Now, you look at California, they beat up Arkansas 75-64 over the weekend. And it was a much easier game than that. They were up 31-7 or 31-8 early in the game. They held Arkansas to like 32% shooting. But the Razorbacks packed it in weeks ago. I mean, weeks ago. They, fumbled in the final couple games of the regular season, got bounced out of the SEC tournament. They were gone. And California before that beat Utah Valley. What is Utah Valley? I didn't know Utah Valley had a basketball team. I can't bet on them. I don't even know what Utah Valley's nickname is. I'll look it up for you tomorrow in case you're on Jeopardy, but I don't know. They beat Utah Valley 77-64. It seems to me if you're playing Utah Valley in Berkeley and you're the California Golden Bears, shouldn't you just show up and win that game by 40 points? It's Utah Valley, for Christ's sake. Okay, I realize I've now pissed off all you alumni of Utah Valley, wherever the hell it is, watching this video report, and my apologies out there, but that's just the way I feel. This is still the same California team that lost 4 of its 5 games prior to the NIT tournament, a team that teased you all season long, handed Arizona its first loss of the season, and then loses games that it should have won easily, even those at home. So in this particular game, even though it's a big number at 8 points, I think you got to go with SMU in this one. Plus, remember, it's a short turnaround for California. They play the game, they hop on the plane, and then they come to Dallas to play SMU. It's going to be another sellout at Moody Coliseum. SMU 17-1 at home overall this season, including 11-1 at Moody since the refurbished arena was reopened. So I'll go with SMU minus 8 points in that one. Now, the other play I have is going to focus on the Florida State-Louisiana Tech contest, where Although I think Florida State is to play sidewise, I think the better selection here is actually to play this game under the total, which is sitting at 147, because the public is going to see that Florida State just annihilated Georgetown 101-90 in its last game, shooting 68%, a season high from the field in that contest. But that's not Florida State's game. Florida State, to win a game, has to play a slow down, half court style of game. Okay, that's their strategy. And they're going to need it tonight against a Louisiana Tech team that is more than willing to play up tempo. I mean, listen, remember Louisiana Tech just last week? They were hosting Iona at home, another team that likes up tempo ball, and it was an 89-88 final, I think. That's Louisiana Tech's game. And Louisiana Tech is coming off a win at Georgia, but who cares? It was Georgia, 79-71, but they did put almost 80 points on the board at Georgia as well. So for Florida State to play well, they've got to slow down the tempo in this game and turn up the screws defensively. And I think they will do that. I mean, I look at this Louisiana Tech team, their last 4 regular season road games. They only scored 68 points at East Carolina. They scored 71 points at Old Dominion. They scored 67 points at UAB. They scored 70 points at Rice. They weren't playing Virginia every night in these games, guys, okay? And you see that they had problems even breaking 70. And that's why I look at this game to stay under the total 147. Because I'm looking at this game is going to be like one of those 72-67 games. If one team breaks 70, I'll be surprised. I don't think both teams are going to break 70. And I think this one is going to stay well under the price of 147. Because, again, Florida State playing at home has the advantage anyway. This is a defensive-minded team. They're going to dictate the tempo of the contest, and I think that's going to keep the scoring down. Florida State is not a high-scoring team. They are ranked 200th in the nation in terms of points per game this season. They average only 70 points a game. So, to see them put 101 up on the board against Georgetown, just remember, a few days earlier, they only managed 58 points against Florida Gulf Coast. Now, granted, their leading scorer didn't play in that game. Ian Miller, who was out with a foot injury, he didn't play in the Gulf Coast game, did come off the bench and score 18 against Georgetown. But again, that is the exception, not the rule in this NIT quarterfinal matchup. I like Florida State a little, but I think the under is to play there. And the other NIT game, I'm going to go with SMU minus the points at home. That'll do it, guys. Best of luck to you all, and I will catch you again on Thursday.